self-knowledge and the last labor of Hercules. We saw how Odysseus rejected the offer of the beautiful goddess Calypso to stay on her island and make him immortal and return to Ithaca. There we discovered that the true journey was not to some external destination, but the return to the self that had never left home. Calypso, with her promise of immortality, was the ultimate trap of the ego, the idea that we can become something more than we are. But what happens when Calypso isn't a goddess on a distant island, but a voice inside us that tells us, you're not enough, you have to do something, you have to become something? What happens when instead of offering us immortality, he gives us a list of 12 impossible tasks we must perform to prove our worth? Then Calypso takes on another name. She is called Eurystheus, and Odysseus's journey becomes the labors of Hercules. We all know the story of Hercules, the hero who performed 12 labors, who defeated monsters and gods, who became a legend. But what they didn't tell us in school is that the true story of Hercules isn't about a man who became a god. It's about how we discover that we don't need to become anything other than what we already are. Every toil we thought we had to win, every monster we thought we had to defeat, every weight we carry on our shoulders, these are all parts of a bigger game. And today we'll look at the last, most secret task, the one that no one mentions, but which is the only one that really matters. Liberation beyond the self. Do not seek it in faraway places. No, in the golden garden of the Hesperides, the imaginary realm of enlightenment. Not in the temples of Tibet, not in the rocks of Mount Athos. Liberation does not hide at the end of the earth. It does not live in the hands of the gods or in the hearts of the saints. It is not a prize to be won, nor a treasure to be stolen. Liberation begins here, right where you stand. For lifetimes you carry the world on your shoulders when you let go of the weight you were never meant to carry. Like Atlas, you too are straining under its weight. You hold up the sky of responsibility, of identity, of being the one who must prevent the collapse of the entire situation. And you believe you must endure until the day you find the golden apples of awakening, the proof that you have arrived. But the secret is this: you were never meant to hold the sky. And the apples? They were never separate from you. The trick, the same trick Hercules played on Atlas, is to deliver the weight back to the mind that claimed it, to the thinker who swore that this weight held everything together. Give back the sky, get out from under it, and now, without the weight, you walk freely to the last gate, the gateway to the underworld. Here the journey changes. You have faced fear, the Nemean lion and desire, the Cretan bull, overthinking and worry, the Lernaean hydra, addiction and control. You have emptied the stables of your subconscious. You have taken back what the ego claimed was its own, and you have refused the golden crown of achievement. Only one guardian remains, Cerberus. 3 heads, each with its own voice. One head of Cerberus speaks with the voice of the past, pulling you back into memories, wounds, glories, regrets. The other head speaks in the voice of the present in the DMN, a constant narrative about what you are, who you are, what you should do. The last head speaks with the voice of the future, promises, threats, dreams, fears, the endless horizon of what ifs. And behind all this, the snake's tail, coiled and ready, the primordial fear of death, the fear of non-existence, the ego's last weapon to prevent you from seeing the truth. In Cerberus, in the stories of the mind, the hero raises his sword to kill him. But the truth is, guns are useless here. Every blow you strike confirms that you still believe in the attacker and the recipient of the attack. Every technique you use confirms that there is a you who can win or lose. So Hercules enters unarmed. No shield, no spear, no mantra, no method. Lets the 3 voices speak: past, present, future. Past speaks with the voice of the past, pulling you back into memories, wounds, present, speaks in the voice of the present in the DMN. A continuous narrative of what you are. Future speaks with the voice of the future. Promises, threats, dreams, fears, the endless horizon of what if. Their jaws break just inches from his face. The snake's tail strikes with images of darkness, emptiness, non-existence. He does not shy away, he does not fight, he does not flee. On the contrary, he approaches. He rests one hand on each head. He places his palm on the snake's jaw. The voices fall silent. All that remains is silence. And in this stillness something is happening far away. Eurystheus, the phantom king, the illusion of the ego, feels the ground disappearing from beneath his throne. For 12 labors he watched you return from the impossible. For 12 labors he thought you were still his servant. But now, in the quiet, he sees the defenses did not fail. There was never a prisoner standing guard. The terror in Eurystheus' eyes is not the fear of defeat, it is the fear of annihilation. Because it is nothing more than the sum of all these fears, shortcomings, and desires. And when they dissolve, he does the same. The throne is crumbling. The palace is collapsing. Eurystheus fades like fog at dawn. You come out of the labyrinth, not as a conqueror returning with a prize, but as you always were, untouched, unbound, unwavering. There is no victory to claim, no chain to break. There is no crown to wear. Because there was never a kidnapper. He was never held prisoner. There was only the self, pretending to be the hero in a maze built of dreams. And now the dream is over. Thus ends the true story of Hercules. Not in glory, but in silence. Not in victory, but in understanding. The hero discovers that he was never imprisoned and therefore does not need to be freed. The labyrinth was a dream, the monsters were shadows, and King Eurystheus, the one giving the orders, was nothing more than the ego voice of Hercules' own mind telling him, "You are not enough as you are. You must achieve more." This is liberation beyond the ego, not to become something great, but to stop trying to be something other than what you already are. Not to win the battle, but to see that there never was a battle. Not to reach your destination, but to realize that you never left your home, the essence of the authentic self that you are. Greece gave us these myths not as fairy tales, but as maps. Maps that lead not to distant islands, but to the depths of our own truth. And there, in the center of the labyrinth, there is no monster waiting for us. There is only silence, and within the silence, the recognition of who you always were, before you even began to search and to seek.
Created by Elias Stasenos. If you liked it, like and follow our channel.